You arrive on time to the restaurant, though you're worried you wouldn't be with how many ride shares canceled on you. Dang, I hate when those ride shares cancel. When you be ready to and they'd be like 2 minutes away. Yolanda's already there, seated comfortably in the waiting area. She perks up when she sees you, greeting you with a wave and a friendly smile. You try your best to smile back. Hey, Ashlie. Hey, how are you? Good, good. Long day, but it was worth it to see some poets come by. I see. Do you get a lot of reoccurring visitors? From your brief visit to the salon, you understand why Yolanda would have lots of people coming and going. It's a welcoming space, one that you like to go into under slightly different circumstances. Yeah, I do. I haven't been at it for long, but I have my fair share of repeats. It's always good to know I can provide a safe space for them to express themselves. I like that. Respect. The youth is our future. I'm sure that means a lot to them. You sit down next to her in the waiting area and the hostess comes to greet you. This is the host. I'm assuming this is just a demo. Like, this is the hostess. We have a table for 2 over there. They direct you to the center of the restaurant and place menus and utensils down as the 2 of you take your seats across from each other. The hostess returns to the entrance and left you alone with Yolanda, at least as long as you could be in a crowded restaurant. As alone. My words are everywhere. My brain is everywhere, dude. All right, where were we? Safe spaces. Those sure sound nice. Sound bitter, and you don't try and cut the bitterness with a smile. You have every right to be, because you never felt safe anywhere but home. That is, like, I hear you, but that is such a toxic mindset to be in. It's just, you're jealous because you've never been in a safe space, so you feel like other people shouldn't. That's all right, Ashlie. We're gonna find our safe space. Yolanda seems to pick up on this. Are you okay? No, I'm not. Word comes out harsher than you expect them to. But you're not wrong about this. You should be upset that she found something you couldn't, that she was lucky enough. Don't do this, Ashlie. Ashlie, don't do this, Ashlie. Come on. I need you to, I understand you're young and stuff. You gotta, people work hard for things, and some people just happen to, you know, have opportunities fall in their lap. We're not the jealous kind, Ashlie. We're not the jealous kind. We don't. Well, if you want to talk about it, I'm here, but if you're gonna whine about it, I'm not okay with that. Yeah, I respect that. I respect that stance. I see that as described. She's very secure in where she is in life and herself, and there's some things she's not going to tolerate. I respect that. Ashlie can kind of learn from that, I think. You're desperate to blow up, cause a scene, burn another bridge. She shouldn't be talking to you like that. You don't tolerate people talking to you like that. Oh gosh, are we about to fight in friendlies? Where are we right now? You always fall into the same trap of assuming your friends are your safe space, that a safe space can ever be a person. Thankfully, you know better now. I don't even know how to comment on that appropriately. But you should swallow your pride. Save it for later. You're trying to make a good impression right now. Anyway, about safe spaces, they're important. I think it's okay for them to be people as well, if that makes sense. It doesn't, but you hold your tongue. It does make sense. You're just upset that it didn't come to fruition in your life. It's okay, Ashlie. We're gonna get past this, Ashlie. We're gonna get past this, okay? You don't want to show your vulnerability so easily, even though she's known you at your worst. It actually makes this process harder. I see. Do you think of the salon as a safe space? Depends on who's there. She says this with such a deadpan look that you're sure she's serious. She cracks into a smile though, and you're not sure how to react. Yeah, of course I do. It's not perfect 24/7, but Because I feel safe in it, I'm able to roll with the punches better. You guess you can say the same thing about your apartment. If you're being honest with yourself, you've grown to really love the place, and you're glad you didn't agree to move in with Zen a few months ago. That would have made the whole situation a lot uglier than it needed to be. I guess. I think my apartment's a safe space too. I never really thought about it too hard. Sort of a lie. You thought about your home being safe for a long time, but you never used the term safe space for yourself. Defining it so simply never occurred to you, but you just knew you were better off at home than you were anywhere else. Maybe, and as introverts, right? That's all it is. Our safe space is at home. It's not like we're always anti. I feel like I could communicate in groups well, though I just prefer not to, but like that's fine. But this is my safe space. This is where I draw my energy. This is where I'm comfortable. This is where I feel I can be myself. This is where I feel my best at, because this is my safe space. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes it's not 24/7 my safe space, because there's sometimes things happen here, but still, maybe we're not, you know, just locking ourselves in a closet. This is our safe space. We like to be here. That makes sense to me. I feel that way about my apartment as well. It's surrounded by the things I love, and a space for people I love to visit. What else could I ask for? Nothing much else. I like having people over too. Or at least you used to. You've always sent friends off with baked goods and borrowed copies of games. Ooh. Now you spend most of your times indoors, unless you absolutely have to go out, and no one comes over except your landlady. That woman always takes too much of whatever you bake. And I guess I only bring over close friends. You've never been to my place, right? That's a stupid question. I'm gonna say, that's a stupid question, and I read, that's a stupid question. You know she's never been to your place. The two of you were never close enough for that. Besides, you lived with Isaiah back then, and you haven't seen her since you moved out and found your own apartment. And didn't you just say she was with Isaiah for some point? So why on earth, at what time should she be in your house? Never. I know you haven't been to mine. Maybe that's a possibility someday. Yeah, maybe. I think that'd be nice. If this goes well, you're still not sure if it's going to. You still have your fair share of doubts about Yolanda, and you have to confirm some things before you decide she can have a place in your life again, no matter how small it may be. Okay, there's more to the situation than I must know. Like the way that though her ex, Ashlie, left and was with Yolanda here, there's more to the situation, because you feel really like, was he cheating on you with her and then moved to her, and that's why you're upset? Because you seem a little, for an ex just to move on, that's, I mean, like, yeah, you get your heart broke, but you have some resentment, or is it jealousy? I don't know. You have we're gonna work through it, Ashlie. Life gets better. We're gonna get better at this. We can't hold on to these things. Besides, she's already pissed you off a few times. You should tread carefully. Would it be cool if I asked you a weird question? Of course, because we're Ashlie and we're full of weird questions. You can tell she's tense. She probably knows what you're gonna ask. You hate how nervous you seem, how you're dancing around the topic of Isaiah. You heard her say she cut him off, but what about everyone else that took his side? I think I know what you're gonna ask me. So this will be easy then. Are you still friends with Isaiah's friends? Not at all. I stuck around with Lucia? Okay, for a hot minute, but we lost touch a long time ago. It wasn't the only friend group I was part of though, so I bounced back pretty quickly. That's also healthy. You can't put all your eggs in a basket. Sometimes I feel like, you know, have different friend groups. It's not like you're cheating on friends by hanging out with other friends. And sometimes merging those two friend groups is not the best. It's okay to have more than one friend group. How many friend groups do I have? We'll get there, Mocha. You bet. I didn't have to do that to myself. You bet. You bounced back quickly as well, though it didn't turn out nearly as well for you. Maybe it was the old scars held you back from holding true connections, or maybe you just weren't meant for them in the first place. You're supposed to only way to find out is to keep trying, but that seems exhausting at this point. I see. Thanks for answering so honestly. Now that that's out the way, what else are you mad to? Are you still seeing Brad? I see that this conversation just tailors around boyfriends and exes. You only met Brad once, but you didn't like him much. He was kind of a jerk. Not to mention, he had an ego the size of the sun. Yolanda chuckles a little bit after that. It was a bitter edge to it, and you wonder if you stepped on a landmine. How? You wonder, you won't apologize for it, but you feel a tad guilty. I dumped his butt ages ago. Then it was Ray, and now I'm single. Good. He was kind of a tool. You wonder if she went through something similar to you. You suddenly feel a little ashamed of your earlier thoughts. But who can blame you? Most people don't understand what you've been through. You're used to that. You're the only one who could defend yourself. You will speak out if you feel you've ever been wronged. Oh my gosh, Ashlie. And I'm gonna stop saying, oh my gosh, we need to fix that, Ashlie, because I know that this is real thoughts and real emotions that people feel. Like it's realistic, man. Not that we all have been there, but there's people that feel that way and they're overcoming it too, you know? You're interrupted by a server heading your way. Are you ready to order some appetizers? Yeah, give me some chicken nuggets and barbecue sauce. Do you want appetizers? I'm good. Have you looked at the menu? You haven't actually. So you take a quick glance and pick something you think you might like. I'll take the garlic pork. Are you kidding? I was gonna get that. She's smiling though. Clearly pleased that you do have similar tastes. So 2 orders of garlic pork? Yep. Yeah, thank you. Server leaves after that, and you turn to face Yolanda again. Now, where were we? Brad being a tool. Right. I wasn't sure what was going on with me, but he wasn't good for my mental health. That's key, you know? Listen, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but it happens a good number of times. This was a mental health awareness stream anyway. We already didn't do that. I never changed my game, dude. Nobody told me that I need to edit my stream information. That's cool. All right. Mental health is important. It's key. It's important. That makes sense. Though I never thought about it like that. You've always gotten boyfriends because you thought they were good to you, not necessarily good for you. It never occurred to you that there's a difference. There's a big difference. There's a humongous difference in that. Anyone could be good to you for a temporary time, but people could be not good for you. Man, oh golly, oh man, speak lessons. I want to thank you for Danny. We need them lessons. Well, how have you thought about it? Crap, how do I respond to this one? You always thought about relationships as transactional but necessary. I can see you haven't been without one for long, and you wonder sometimes if you're dependent on them. I knew it. I called it. Let me turn down this mic though. It's kind of like mid-spike range. All right, that's better. I called it. Did I not? All right. You've been in that cycle since you were 14, and this sudden realization with a possible old friend turned new doesn't make you happy. Yolanda could probably tell you you're thinking too hard because she's looking increasingly concerned. You can't manage to say anything. Your mouth goes dry. You look around. It's not like you get nervous. It's not like you to get this nervous. You don't know what's wrong, but this isn't it. You need to get over yourself. Are you okay, Ashlie? Look at your little fish. You're not, but you don't know how to say you're okay. That line hits. You're not, but you don't know how to say you aren't okay. So what do we say? I'm fine. Just a little tired. I'll be okay. Wow. You never know how to say you're not okay, and that's why you lash out, pretend it isn't happening. That's why you blow up, why you have to explode. There's no other way to go about it. You learned that by now. So that leaves you here, confused, tongue-tied, and definitely not okay. See? I'm not saying I'm a mind reader, but I know you see that. I know you see it. Just say I don't know. That's better. That's a more honest answer. I don't know what to say. That's okay. It's like that sometimes. I mean, relationships has always been a given. I'm pretty, so it's not hard for me to get a man. The thing is, keeping one is a whole different issue. I know how relationships are supposed to be. It just never works out that way for me. I feel the same way. Really? Not in every way, but relationships feel like the one way things go wrong in my life. Every time I think someone could be good for me, they end up disappointing me. Right? It's exhausting. Men are the worst at that. Sometimes I wish I was attracted to women. I've heard that they're better at this stuff. Honestly, it depends on the woman, but a good chunk of us are more in tune with things emotionally. No, dating women isn't all good. I see. What are you thinking? You're straight. Everything about women might seem better to you, but you're straight. Are you thinking about it? Thinking about what? Being with women. You have a few times out of curiosity, but it never went anywhere. They were all too nice for you, and you ended up being more drawn to some men in the first place. They were too nice for you? Oh, you into bad dudes that treat you badly. And that's okay. Never mind. I'll leave it. I mean, I've always seen myself as straight. I did too, till I realized I wasn't. How'd you know? I started crushing on a girl in high school, and everything clicked for me. You don't think you ever developed a crush on a woman before, so that's off the table for you. You thought women were hot, but that was always platonic. I don't know about crushes. I guess I have a lot to think about. Seems like it. And one more thing. What is it? Don't ask me to be your experiment or anything. I love myself too much for that. I wasn't planning on it. You might not be the best person, but you're not the brand of jerk. You remember one of your former friends from high school getting played around with by a straight girl, and how angry you were on her behalf. You wouldn't do that to someone else. Would you? Good. Besides, I don't really do hookups. They never end well for me. Me neither. For the most part. I mean, they're fine. I just always feel weird after them because I'm terrified I'm accidentally hook up with a fan. That'd be so awkward. Like you're an empty vessel for someone else's desires. You're aware people think you're hot and you agree with them. You just wish you could have fun without your partner putting all his awkward, demeaning expectations on you. But that never happens. So for the most part, you've sworn off hookups. At least with boyfriends, you know they will see you as a person. Would that really be so bad? I mean, they already love you. It would be awful. You look around just in case any of your fans are actually here. No one's approached the two of you yet, and everyone seems occupied with their food, so you think you're safe. Don't you like your fans? God, no. I'm indifferent towards the teenagers. I was one once, so I guess they deserve a chance, but I get a lot of weird, disgusting dudes no matter what I do. I mean, I get it. It's kind of like customer service, right? You can't control who you get. You just gotta make the best of it. You're right about that. If I didn't love my job, I would seriously start blocking half of my fan base. Dang, Ashley. The moment you say it, you realize it's a mistake. Half is too generous. You block you 3/4. Dang! Yolanda, however, seems amused at your statement. Which is a good thing, you suppose. It means that you can still be funny. I feel you on that one. If I didn't have a respectable business to run, I'll be hauling some of these girls out by the hair. Running a hair salon is that bad? Usually don't pay attention too much when you're getting your hair done, so you don't know the environment that surrounds most salons. I do be just staring at my phone. Usually I have like a one-on-one appointment though, and there's no one else there though. You honestly think you have better things to pay attention to. Most people are nice, but some folks are mad entitled or gossips. My assistant's real good with that, but I can't deal with poop talking. It gets too much sometimes, and always over some petty stuff too. Like what? Like talking about their man cheating on them, or some backstabbing girl that my client's gonna backstab right back, or something about guys sharing partners. I had an ex who, yes, I found out 2 weeks in, and he said he assumed all relationships with him were open. Wow, that was a riot. You never take your 20-year-old self seriously for deciding to date that man, but you got revenge by getting into his apartment and wrecking his $400 guitar. No, wow, that was fun. Plus you got to scream at him when he found out. Serves him right. For real? Yolanda laughs, and you start to laugh as well. You see the server coming with your meals, and you turn to greet them. Here's your garlic pork. Thanks. Thank you. Food looks good, and you probably look a little too eager, but you're hungry and oddly comfortable around Yolanda to boot. So you dig in and you watch her eat too. You're a bit messy eater when you're comfortable, but Yolanda doesn't look repulsed. Good, right? Thank you for taking me here. I never heard of a Thai place that had garlic pork. What is that? I want to know. Can I know? Glad you like it. She sounds warm when she says it. You're not sure what scares you more, the possibility she isn't being genuine, or the possibility that she is. God, you're really bad at this whole making friends who have interests outside of gaming thing. At least with other gamers, you have something in common to talk about. So, how's your poetry? Real smooth, Ashlie. It's good. I'm writing my own self-indulgent things. What do you tend to write about? Mostly about my life. I try to write personal poetry in order to process emotions, and it really helps. I've definitely written my fair share of breakup poems. Maybe that would be good things for you to try. That might help you. Will you critique me if I do? You're only half joking. The other half of you is genuinely scared that someone will read your innermost thoughts and call them trash. There's a reason you prefer to repress things. I wouldn't do that. I just think it would be a good thing for you to do. Oh crap, you hadn't thought about that. You do most things with the expectation that someone will see them, that someone will acknowledge them. Who are we talking to? From your streaming to your baked goods you give to friends and neighbors, everything you do is presented to others. Wow. Even though you consider yourself a selfish person in many ways, everything you do has been for others. Is it for recognition? I'll have to consider it. I'm not much of a writer though. That's okay. I promise you really don't have to be. I don't consider myself a great writer or anything. It's just a nice way to reflect on things. I see. That makes sense. So you don't share it with anyone? I share it with my partners sometimes, but can I let you in on its little secret? What is it? I never tell them it's about me, so no one thinks I'm the subject. That's my safety net. You crack a smile at that. It's funny. The fact that people who are supposed to be close wouldn't know their lover's personal poetry when they saw it. That is interesting to me, because I feel like if you're dating someone, you'll be able to be like, no, boo, this kind of sounds like you. And not just the Cheeto part. I mean, this, like, I feel like you should know your partner on an emotional level enough to be like, this is how you would respond to things. I feel like this is you, you know? You look like you're about to crack up. Do I? Definitely. What's so funny? Yolanda smiles back at you, relaxed and open. How people can be so obvious when vulnerability is right in front of them. You shouldn't find that funny. But you do. She totally does. She's cracking a smile right now. You know a self-satisfied smile when you see one. You practically are a master at that. A little, yeah. But hey, there's always next time. Hopefully it works out. I hope so too. I like to believe that the one is still out there, waiting for me. That would be nice, wouldn't it? You both look at each other. You feel strangely at peace. Things might be crappy right now, but there are still people out there they're meant for you. There's people still out there meant for you. Geesh, I butchered that. You hope Yolanda is one of those people. Take your last bite of food, and after a few moments, your server comes back. How was everything? It was great, thank you. Yeah, it was delicious. That's good to hear. Are you ready for the check now? I think so. What do you think? Yeah, I'm ready. I gotta do some more practice after this. All right, I'll be with you in a moment. The server walks away, and the two of you face each other once again. You feel good about this. Really good about this. Hey, we making friends. We making friends. Okay, we making friends. I was gonna ask you if you wanna come over to my place, but I don't wanna intrude too much. You raise your eyebrows, surprised. Really? You would do that for me? I mean, it's not really for you, just... Ashlie, you are panicking. Definitely. But you need to... Forget practice. I've done enough of that while I was busy pitying myself. I'd love to hang out. Look at that smile. This is the first genuine smile that we got out of Ashlie today. Look at us moving up. We're getting better. Healing. All right, then. What do you want to do? Good question. I was thinking we wanted to discuss a wide range of action movies you can watch. And then Yolanda returns with some artsy films you can watch. You decide on one of each, but you end up sleeping over. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, we are about to be besties. While you're frustrated that your skincare routine was thrown off, your happiness outweighs your any dissatisfaction. That's one thing I hate about accidental sleepovers. I remember I used to do that to like my cousin's house, and then I'm like, dang, I got all my makeup on. I don't have, where's my cleanser? Where's my brush? Where's my exfoliant? You end up hanging out with her again next week, and it becomes a thing. You even come over to one of her poetry nights, and it's better than you thought it'd be. Oh, we have friends. You two aren't similar at all, but it's nice to reconnect over something new. Something outside of the pain Isaiah caused you both. But she calls you out on your anger. You might be justifying your emotions, but you aren't justifying your actions. Woo! For the people in the back. You might be justified in your emotions, but you aren't justifying your actions. And I say that so much, not word for word, but I would say to people, if I hurt people or I hurt, I would say things like, don't, like when someone's hurting me and they're like, oh, well, you know, that's not my problem. I'm like, my emotions are valid. That's one standing thing that I put down first. Like, don't tell me that I shouldn't be feeling this way. You cannot tell me how I should be feeling right now. My emotions are valid. Now, whether I use those emotions to hurt you, which are now actions, that can be something different. And like I say, other people, yo, you're upset. I hear you. I'm gonna need you to put down the vase, grandma. Your emotions are valid, but we are not throwing vases today. So you might be justified in your emotions, but you aren't justified in your actions. She never babies you about it, but she's far from cruel. You could learn a thing or two from her. I see that. You realize you're doing well when you're talking to her, some of Yolanda's poetry friends. You can safely say you become friends with them too. You're different than you were back then. I just hope that I have, you know, that this safe group of people don't get taken from me so easily. Or if they were to leave, mess me up mentally. We do not depend completely on people. While you don't entirely like the way you are like yourself more. You like yourself more. And isn't that what counts in the end? You're happier now, and that's all that matters. Poetic justice. Ah, I see it. Hey, let's save. Like this beat. You hear it? Okay, let me stop. I'm stopping. I'm sorry. right, guys, so this is the first, I guess, chapter, and this is still demo build, so I don't know how many chapters they have in this game, but I don't want to keep going first. But this is the first one, a ValiDate, so I'm assuming we're gonna date someone soon, and it looks like it just may be Yolanda at this point. I don't know if she's a friend. I don't know what it's gonna turn to, around, to be honest, but it seems like a very fun, engaging game. Talks about real struggles, real mental, you know, adjustments, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. I thought by playing this game instead of the other game I was going to be getting away from that, but it just shows that in any game, any format or anything, mental health is important. Saying you're not okay, gaining help and safety nets in your life, having a support system of friends, whether it's your church, your family, it is important. And I think I keep getting surprised because I see it everywhere, but it is everywhere, right? It's like, okay, you know, everywhere is breathing. Of course, oxygen is everywhere. Like, this mental health is going to be everywhere. Wow, I just like how these games make it these specific games make it more plain. So shout out to the team again of ValiDate. I would love to support in whatever way. I don't know. I'm assuming they're past Kickstarter phase, but I definitely want to show them love and support. This is a really great game. I feel it, and I like it. I dig it.